In this video, we're going to determine if f of x equals x squared plus 7 and g of x equals the square root of x minus 7 are inverse functions. Now, if you're given two functions and you're asked to determine if they are inverse functions, the method is to evaluate the f of g of x and the g of f of x. And what that means is just putting one function in the other and simplifying, and then putting the other function in the one and simplifying. And what you're looking for is if you do this and they are inverse functions, then the answer to both of these problems that I've written out in blue are going to be equal to x after you do algebra and simplify. If you end up with one or both of them equaling something else, then you know there's a problem or they weren't inverse functions. So first of all, let's find the f of g of x, and that's just putting g inside of f. So f of x is something squared plus 7, so the f of g of x is going to be the square root of x minus 7 squared plus 7. So all that's doing is putting g into the place of x in our f function. Now we want to simplify as much as we can. So our square root and the second power are going to destroy each other. And that's going to leave us with x minus 7 plus 7. And then our plus and minus 7 will destroy each other, leaving us with just x. And that's a good sign. If you get one of them to equal x, most likely the other one is too. And most likely we're going to be dealing with inverse functions. But to be safe, you have to do both because both of them have to equal x. So now let's evaluate the g of f of x, and that's going to be putting the f function inside of the g function. So the g function is the square root of something minus 7. Well, that something is going to be x squared plus 7 minus 7. And so that's just putting our g function right there and putting f inside of g in the place of x. Well, now inside of this radical we can simplify because we have these parentheses, but we can drop those because they're not necessary. We don't have a number multiplied out front or a negative sign out front. So really that's just the same thing as x squared plus 7 minus 7. And of course the plus 7 and minus 7 are going to cancel each other out again, and that's going to leave us with the square root of x squared, and of course the square root and the x squared destroy each other, leaving us with just x. So for this particular problem, since we found the f of g of x and the g of f of x, and they both equaled exactly x, then we can conclude that these are inverse functions. And that's it. That's all you have to do.